Ever found yourself fixated on that brand new guitar, pedal, or amp, thinking that it's the secret sauce that will magically elevate your playing? Well, we have all been there. But here is the hard truth. More gear doesn't automatically make you better. And whether you call it gear addiction, gear acquisition syndrome, or G.A.S for short, I'm here to explain why it might not be the shortcut to mastery that we often believe it to be. It's a narrative that many of us are familiar with. That irresistible pull to acquire a new guitar, amp, or pedal, wrapped up in the belief that purchasing it will magically elevate our guitar playing. But the truth is far less glamorous. Gear is just a tool and not a shortcut to mastery. It won't instantly transform us into the virtuosos we so wish to be. Now, don't get me wrong, that unboxing of a brand new pedal or plugging in a fresh amp can be really exciting. However, oftentimes that high from a new piece of gear is really short-lived. And although that line might seem straightforward for some, for myself and for many others, I think it's easy to blur that distinction. And as I was reflecting on this last year, I noticed this constant cycle of acquiring more guitars, amps, and pedals. And in this never-ending pursuit, I found myself never actually appreciating what I already possessed. And then it hit me. Gear has a point of diminishing returns. Initially, gear can help us improve in massive strides, but eventually its impacts begin to diminish. And here's where I think this becomes really practical for all of us. In my early guitar playing years, I spent 6 years solely dedicated to just learning my instrument. However, I overlooked important aspects like tone, band dynamics, and how my guitar fit in the overall mix. So naturally, I went on a tone journey and I started purchasing better guitars, amps, and pedals. And honestly, this significantly improved my overall musicianship and my collaboration skills. But here's the problem. That progress I experienced stagnated over 6 years ago, but I kept justifying the need for more and more gear. If any of this sounds like you might be asking, how do I break this cycle? So let me tell you. Well, for me, it's a commitment to fast from gear for a period of time. And in this specific case, fasting means abstaining from gear in exchange for hopefully a better outcome. Now, if any of you have ever tried a diet or a New Year's resolution, you will know giving up something good without replacing it with something better does not work. And drawing from my own experience as a recovering addict, I can attest to this cycle in looking for quick fixes in other areas of my life. Therefore, my commitment is pretty straightforward. No new guitars, pedals, amps, cameras, lenses, etc. for the foreseeable future. And admittedly, there is some gray here where if a company sends me new gear for the channel or my wife purchases me something, of course, I'm not going to say no. However, the overall goal is the same. I am not going to seek out gear on my own accord. Now, why am I making this decision? Simply put, I think it creates space to break free of that perpetual gear cycle and shift my attention and my focus towards appreciating and mastering what I already own. First and foremost, my hope with eliminating time spent researching gear is to replace it with more intentionality. And with that time that I spent looking at gear, I'll rather invest that into practicing, studying music theory, and refining my technique. Funds previously allocated towards gear will now go towards family experiences and trips. Now, of course, I recognize my option may be extreme for some, but I think it might be necessary for others as well. If that doesn't apply to you, I have a lot of other really helpful tips that I think may be helpful if you find that this is an area you struggle with in your life. If you don't know if you struggle in this, ask your significant other or your spouse and they will tell you. Some really practical examples could be refraining from purchasing gears you don't have the funds for. So in this case, not financing gear and actually waiting and saving up for something to make your purchase. And for those that utilize gear in a business setting or in an income revenue capacity, my recommendation would be to create a business case for why you need this piece of gear. Lastly, one other really practical tip could be to implement a waiting period before you purchase something new. So I know NAMM's right around the corner. If you see something you love, theoretically waiting a couple weeks or a month before pulling the trigger can really help you identify what you actually need and what you want. And like I said in the beginning, more gear doesn't automatically make you better. practice and mastering what you already own does. Fasting from gear will give me that opportunity to break that gear cycle, appreciate what I already have, and spend time mastering what I already own. And if any of this resonates with you, or if you've got other great strategies, comment down below, and if not, I'll see you in the next video.